In my work with clients, we touch on belonging sooner or later in our sessions. Most feel a sense of loneliness and emptiness, a longing to belong. Today I will share my thoughts on belongings, why we long for it, and how we can fulfill this need. But first, some questions. Belonging, what does it mean to you? And how would you describe this feeling when you sense that you arrived and that you belong either in your family or in a circle of friends? So each of us longs to experience belonging. A sense of belonging is essential for physical, mental, and emotional well-being. To feel that we belong to a family, a circle of friends at work, or a group has a lot to do with how much we feel included and appreciated. The more we feel accepted for who we are, that we matter, and that what we have to contribute is valued, the more we can really arrive in a group and feel we have a place. Therefore, to create a feeling of belonging, our key relationships will have to be meaningful to begin with. This means that these relationships create an environment of safety, of trust and support, so that we feel welcome and accepted despite possible differences in viewpoints and ways of living. It is also important that we get the feeling that we are seen and that we are heard. And by that I mean that we are met with attention, empathy and understanding, and that others are curious about us, our life, and what we have to offer. One of the reasons may be how we feel about ourselves. When we struggle with a lack of self-worth, if we feel not enough or too much or unlovable, we unconsciously look for the confirmation of these underlying beliefs about ourselves in others and around us. And the moment we feel the slightest pushback, or we feel judged or rejected, this deep sense of not being worthy to belong gets affirmed, and we pull back, or we try to do what we can to fit in. Fitting in requires us to deny parts of ourselves that are different. It requires us to suppress who we are, to find approval from others. And this is exhausting because it demands to constantly be on guard whether what we say and how we conduct ourselves is in alignment with the expectation and norms of the group. And so when we are not sure of ourselves, this is also often expressed non-verbally in our posture, in our expression, or the energy that we send out. We may have a shield up to prevent people from coming closer and to find out about our perceived weaknesses, or we rather stay away so that we don't get judged and ridiculed. It could also be that we aren't communicating well about our needs and what is important to us, and therefore, if it's not understood, we do feel misunderstood and not heard. Another reason could be that we aren't creating the relationships we need to feel that we belong. When we live in relationships where we have to constantly prove ourselves, or we live in codependency, or worse, we experience abuse, it's impossible to build a foundation for a sense of belonging. Now, in order to feel part of a group, it also requires us to move away from entitlement, from I, me and myself, to us and the whole. When we develop the mindset to contribute to the well-being of others and how we can bring in ourselves our gifts and talents for the benefit of the relationship or the community, it helps to feel part of the whole. Now, ultimately, it always starts with ourselves. The willingness to examine our thoughts, beliefs, and our fears, our expectations, and our openness to new experiences. So let's explore this. As I mentioned before, our self-perception plays an essential role in how comfortable we are about ourselves and how sturdy our sense of self is. The less we believe in ourselves, the easier it is to try to fit in, to bend, to be liked, and to hide our authentic self. So here are some questions to reflect on how much you create an environment that invites a sense of belonging. Which beliefs of yours are pointing towards not feeling worthy of belonging? How easy is it for you to communicate your needs and desires? In which situations are you going to ignore your deepest truth about who you are so that you feel you belong? How does that feel? How easy is it for you to let people into your life? How comfortable are you with closeness? How easily are you judging others that are seemingly different from you? What do you require to feel you belong to your family, to your group of friends, at work, or in your community? What needs to change for you to have a stronger sense of belonging? What small steps can you take today to get closer to the sense of belonging? I do hope that you have the sense of belonging in your life and you live your relationships also filled with the sense of belonging. And if you don't, hopefully these questions earlier will help you to get a sense of what's missing. I see you again next week, Thursday, with another episode of my musings, and until then, take good care.